I did an all natural birth with no medication and no epidural, and I was in labor for 60 hours total. From the time my water broke to the time I pushed my baby out was 60 hours. So that is a long time to be laboring. And so I have so many helpful tips and things that helped me manage the pain during my labor process, especially over 60 hours. There's a lot that I had to do to manage that with no medication and no epidural. So we're going to get into it. And if you're new here, I'm Naomi. I'm a first-time mama. I just had my baby a month ago, so I'm 1 month postpartum. And again, I did an all-natural birth. It was honestly one of the most beautiful things that I've ever experienced and one of the most challenging things that I've ever done, and one that I'm truly most proud of, because doing a natural birth really shows us as women our superpower. It shows us our strength, because going into it, there's probably so many thoughts that you have. I know I can relate to this. So many thoughts that we have of like the what ifs and things like that, or can we really do it? And I know most women hit a point, especially if you're a first time mom doing a natural birth like myself, there's a point that we may hit during our labor process where like, it's like, okay, I've had enough. Like, when is this going to be over? Like, when am I going to meet my baby? And so getting through that, it just really shows us the strength that we have. And that's why I loved doing a natural birth so much, because it's just a true testament to our strength as women. So let's get into these things that help me manage my pain during my natural birth. The first thing I want to start with is that mindset is everything. Literally in labor, it's more about our minds than it is our bodies, because our bodies already know what to do. Like, literally, it's just up to us to manage our mind. And so going into labor, when it comes to managing the pain, you have to look at the pain more as progress, and that it's productive pain. And truthfully, looking back on it, it's not even really painful. It's really more so a lot of discomfort and more so pressure that you're feeling in your body. So in your stomach, and also in your birth canal, even in your rectal area. Literally, as you're pushing your baby out, there's a lot of pressure there too. So it's more so pressure than it is pain. And then also just looking at this pressure or pain, however you view it, as it's productive, it's progress. And so that was something that really helped me during my labor process, is all those discomforts and pressure that I was feeling and the intensity of the contractions that I was feeling. I really just kept reminding myself, like, this is progress. Like, what I'm feeling is progress, and it's literally my body working for me to meet my baby. And so I was thankful for all the discomfort that I was feeling, because one, I knew it was temporary. Like, we're not in labor for forever. We're going to meet our baby at some point. So one, I told myself that this is temporary, and two, I was so thankful for those discomforts and that pain, intensity, and pressure that I was feeling, because I knew it was getting me closer to meeting my baby and that it was going to be over at some point. So this is definitely a different mindset to have, but we have to have a different mindset when it comes to managing the pain during labor. The next thing that really helped me manage pain and the intensity of contractions was counter pressure. And this is something that my midwives and my husband helped me with during labor. So the way that they did counter pressure for me, that helped me the most, was doing hip squeezes. And this really helped me open up my pelvis, but also, honestly, the hip squeezes felt really good. So it helped me focus more on that feel good sensation of the counter pressure versus the intensity of the contraction that I was feeling. So it basically distracted me from the intensity, essentially, is what happened. But this is definitely one thing that helped me a lot during my labor process. So whenever I would feel a contraction coming on, my midwives or my husband would just do a hip squeeze for me, and it really took a lot of that pressure off. And I feel like that's most likely why it helped me manage the pain, because it took a lot of the pressure off. And again, in labor, it was really more so pressure than it was pain. So it took away a lot of that pressure feeling, and that hip squeeze just felt so good. So I was able to lean into that feel good feeling. The next thing that helped me manage pain during labor was movement and position changes. And so just sitting still really didn't help me any. I really couldn't just lay still on the bed and get comfortable at all because of the intensity of my contractions and the pressure that I was feeling. And so movement helped me a lot. So I would just change positions. Maybe I was on my hands and knees on the bed, and then I would get on the floor on my hands and knees, or I would kind of put my hands on my husband's shoulders and just like sway back and forth. I did some side lying. Maybe I would get in the birth tub. I did some sitting on the dilation station, which is the toilet. So I did a lot of movement and a lot of position changing, and I just stayed in that position as long as I could and really just leaned into it and stayed as long as I could until I was just like, okay, I've had enough of this position. Let me get into another position. And so just this movement and position changing really helped a lot, because I was able to try a lot of different things to see what helped me the most. I will say the dilation station, aka the toilet, was actually, it helped me progress a lot in my labor because it helped bring my baby down more into my birth canal, but it also oddly felt very good to just sit on it and relax. And so this was one that I kind of went back to a couple of times, but you want to definitely do some movement and position changing so you can experience those different things and see what's working for you the most. And so because I did so much position changing, I was able to see like, okay, I don't like this, but I do like this, which I did like my hands and knees. I was on my hands and knees literally in the birth tub, on the floor, on the bed. Like that helped me a lot. And then I definitely liked being on the toilet as well. The next thing that helped me manage my pain during labor was water. So I did my natural birth in a birthing center, and they did have a tub to support water births. And so I was in and out of the water a lot laboring. I didn't end up birthing in the tub, but I did labor in the tub a lot. So there were several times where I would get in the water and just labor, sit through contractions. And honestly, that warm water just felt so good, just floating in the water, sitting in there, getting through those contractions, and just allowing my muscles to really relax helped a lot with the pain and just kind of breathe through the contractions as well. The next thing that helped me manage my pain during labor was vocalization and breathing. So I didn't think that I was going to be a vocalizer going into labor, but I definitely was. And if you don't know what vocalizing is, it's basically when you are like making moans and things like that through your contractions. And focusing on low moans really helped me get through the contractions. And so just like keeping it low and not high, like screaming, and then also breathing. So I would just bring myself back to my breath and just breathe through the contractions, because I did not let myself just not breathe, because that only made me feel worse and made me feel lightheaded, just trying to hold my breath through a contraction. But I just reminded myself to breathe. I focused on my breath, focused on keeping it slow and controlled, which helps me the most. It just helps keep me calm. And then also those low vocalizations, those like low moans really helped me get through it as well. And the next thing that helped me get through my pain during labor was my support team. So having my husband there was everything. My husband is honestly my greatest supporter in literally everything that I do. And so just having him there, he was one there to like help me stay hydrated and nourished. And so he would just give me like my water cup, or just put the smoothie that I had in front of my face so that I could nourish and hydrate myself. But he also had moments where he would just remind me of my strength and remind me to keep going, reminded me to change positions, or maybe try something else, or just reminded me that I was doing great, and reminded me of my strength. And that meant everything to me. And also my support team, as far as my midwives were absolutely amazing. They literally were so patient and helped me through every step of the way. and things that I didn't know, they helped inform me and educate me and gave me their best suggestions for me. And that was everything. And so when it came to managing my pain, having my support team, my husband, one to lean on and to have him to remind me of my strength, help me get into the mindset of, okay, you know what? I got this. And yeah, this pain and pressure and discomfort isn't anything. And it's only helping me get to my baby. And then my midwives, of course, they had different things that they were able to suggest to me to help continue to manage the pain. Maybe positions to get into, changing positions, different movements. Okay, hey, let's go walk. Or hey, do you want to get in the water? Okay, hey, do you want to lay down now and kind of rest a little bit? So just different things like that they were able to help support me through to manage my pain as well. So these are all the things that helped me manage pain during my natural birth. And I hope that you get something useful from this. And you're definitely doing great by doing your research and seeing different ways to manage pain during labor. And really, it's a trial and error process. So try a lot of different things when you are in when you're in labor. Try different things, and whatever is working for you, do more of that. Because truthfully, there were things that I saw that did help me and didn't help me, so I just stuck to more of what did help me. So don't be afraid to experiment when you're in labor. Just try different things because you want to get what works for you and stick to that. So if you aren't already, make sure you subscribe, and I wish you the best in your labor and delivery journey. I promise you, a natural birth is such a beautiful thing, and you are going to come out on the other side and be so proud of yourself and see the strength that you have.